Hello and welcome to Draw With Me. I'm Danny Gregory, and every week we get together, hang out for about an hour, do a bunch of drawings, have fun, chat, talk about stuff, and meet JJ.
Hi.
JJ, you're looking really good today.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I think it might be something to do with the new camera. Everybody said I looked good last week. I'm like, new camera. Same person, new camera.
I got to get one of those cameras.
Yeah.
What's going on?
But I'm happy today.
Well, that's good. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, we got it here in Phoenix. We got a summer monsoon last night. Oof.
It rained. It's
Chef's
clear.
kiss.
It smells good. It's so nice.
Air is just divine. It's the yard got a soak. The wind, the lightning, the thunder.
It's been very, very nice.
Yes.
So good. I think we have a few new people here. We have Bliss Academy in the Netherlands.
Cool name.
For the first time. Thank you for joining us live, and I also wanted to thank Marvel for becoming a member, and that is very nice. If you want to take the time to become a member right now, just click the join button on your browser, and our friend Sang-So Lee in Korea is visiting with us again, so it's nice to see you.
So nice to see.
Yes, everybody's talking about your hair.
Yeah, you know why?
Hair
I didn't wash it this morning. That's why it's brown.
Same here. I didn't get that effect. Ah, well.
What are you going to do?
All right. So
Bartek just joined from Poland. We're watching a show that they are traveling through Poland, and I have to say, Krakow looks amazing. What a cool place. Anyway.
Yeah, it's very nice to see.
Slight diversion.
To see just other places.
Yeah, global hug.
All right. Well, I want to talk about this URL that's down here below. So this month is World Watercolor Month.
July, always July.
July. So we celebrate this every month. And if you'd like to kind of get deeper into watercolor, this is a great opportunity to do it by joining World Watercolor Month. It doesn't cost any money, but basically you'll get a bunch of prompts that will give you suggestions on things that you can do every day to enhance your skills, build your confidence, and have fun in different ways.
Yeah, and a lot of people will be posting, so you can
so you can
share
get
your
share
art,
or you can just go and see what other people are doing. How can you use watercolor? What all the different ways? We use it a lot here in lots of different kinds of ways. You know, you might think of watercolor as being sort of a very traditional, or very challenging, or very complicated medium, and the best way to find out what it's really about is to try it out. So,
and also what the thing is, I think about this challenge is if you did it for 31 days, you're going to unlock like the magic of water. Because at first it's very trying. It can be problematic. You can make mud. You can do a good thing and then ruin it. But if you do it consistently, I mean, like pretty much any other artistic habit, but watercolor especially, like you will be rewarded. August 1st, you'll have a new appreciation, right?
Yeah, it's a medium that I wasn't that familiar with when I first started drawing. I wasn't even that familiar with what watercolors really look like who are great watercolor artists. There's one or two in art history I could think of, but I just didn't really know about it. And now I see what a vast and sprawling thing it is. So what we have done is I'm an ambassador, as you can tell by my sash and my tailcoat. I'm an ambassador of World Watercolor Month. And each year we have given a piece of art to make into products to support World Watercolor Month. And what happens is these products are available for people to buy, and the money that comes from those purchases goes to support children around the world getting art supplies. So it's a complete nonprofit. All the money goes for that. And again, not expensive. It's things like a mug. Got a mug? What if we had a mug to show? Maybe a mug? There's a mug.
World Watercolor Month? But look at this. I mean, don't you want to wake up and have your morning coffee out of, look, Danny Gregory, Twiglet.
And it's the 10th World Watercolor Month.
If you want to go really big, this is like a little zipper pouch, right? You can use it for your art supplies. They come in a smaller size too, so does the mug. But I just took this, we did our road trip, and I used my, as my makeup case. I mean, how cute is that?
So that is a painting that I did with opaque watercolor, which is called gouache. And that was, I think your whole Vanna White thing is going on now. You've got the hair, the makeup, the way the way you're presenting products. I think it's outstanding. So anyway, so go to school.tiny.us/WWM, and that will take you to specifically the page where you can get those products. But there's lots of other artists who have also donated their art, and they've made stuff out of them. So it's really nice. And
when you buy, you can feel good knowing a child will get some art supplies.
Yeah, it's not expensive. It's the price of a mug, you know.
Couple bucks.
Yeah, so I would go and do it. So, and even if you don't want to spend the money, check it out and see if there are any interesting, inspiring artists. All right, Vanna.
I mean,
moving on.
I have to say, I'm just in love with this mug. So in love.
Or
with
you
this
can
mug.
get the Sketchbook School mug elsewhere.
Yeah, you can. But
can you get that anywhere? Can you buy it?
Yeah, you can still buy it. It's on our website. But I mean, look at this pouch.
All right.
I die.
Thank you. Thank you for your
heart.
attention and your participation.
Okay, so should we get
Let's move on. So
let's move on. Okay.
So we, as we always do, we discuss what we're going to make on Draw With Me with our members the day before. So on Wednesday we meet, we do another Draw With Me exercise.
From the archive.
And then we poll the members and we come up with an idea. We didn't do that this week because actually JJ came up with a good idea.
So we're working our way through the centuries. Last week we were in the Middle Ages.
So on Friday in the United States, 4th of July, actually worldwide, it's going to be 4th of July on Friday. But specifically in America, it's a special holiday, of course, to celebrate Independence Day 1776. So we were thinking that might be interesting, but we know that lots of our members are not from the United States necessarily. So we wanted to think, let's go back in our time machine to the year 1776 and just look at it around the world. What were interesting things that were happening in 1776?
Yeah.
Besides
colonial America, also
in China, for instance, in Japan, in England, in Germany. Let's just look at some other places and pick out some things and draw them. So that's the idea today. We have a lot of topics.
Yeah, you're gonna go fast.
I have like 15 or 16 different pieces. We don't have to do all of them, but we could. And JJ is going to tell us a little bit about each one as we do it. And what else?
It's gonna be fun.
Jen Gonzalez says it's July 4th here now.
Yeah, she's in the Philippines.
Of course, so tomorrow is Friday.
It's crazy how that works.
It is. So anyway.
Global hug. Not everybody in the same time zone.
Yes. So anyway, I don't know if let's have a loose timer. Do you mind?
Okay.
We'll have a timer, but it's going to be short. So the idea is let's just knock out a bunch of these drawings.
Yeah.
Don't obsess about them. They're all different kinds of things. There are people, there are machines, they're just stuff. And we're going to try and do
3 minutes?
45 minutes, yes, 3 minutes. Let's just do 3 minutes,
Okay. Cool.
And in honor of it being 1776, I'm going to use a dip pen. Just because
you could use a quill.
I don't have a quill right now. I was going to go out and pluck our neighbor's guinea hen.
I know, we're babysitting our neighbor's guinea hen, and it does have cool feathers.
It's not nice to have in the bed though. It's constantly pecking during the night and rustling around, and the dogs don't like it. But anyway, so I didn't get a quill pen, but I'm going to use India ink and a dip pen.
Cool.
So we'll see. It's going to be messy. It's going to be fast. It's going to be fun.
Let's do it. All right.
Wait, Mary says that she has a whole collection of Sketchbook School mugs. Everybody in the family knows they're for my use only.
Mary, you need another one.
You
need this special mug.
Round out your collection.
I mean,
Other people collect Hummel figurines. She collects Sketchbook School mugs.
Face.
Here we go.
Oh my
All right.
gosh. Oh my gosh. Twiglet.
Goodbye.
Oh.
Here we go. So first thing is actually from America, but nothing to do with the Revolutionary War. This is a piece of silver made by Paul Revere.
That's. I thought you gave me a. Oh, I see. There it is.
So Paul Revere, silversmith, famous for his midnight ride, but.
All right, am I starting the timer?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Yeah, so in addition to silver work, Revere pioneered the American production of rolled copper sheets,
Oh, really?
which would later be used for naval ships and government buildings.
Interesting. Paul Revere.
I mean,
And yet he's only known for
multitasker, this
he's
guy.
only known for like riding around on a horse in the middle of the
Riding
night.
around.
Ringing bells.
Yeah, the alarm.
The British are coming.
British are coming, that's right.
But he was clearly like, he was sort of like a tech millionaire, a tech entrepreneur of his time.
Oh, he was a Renaissance man in the colonial times. We
Easy
skipped
now.
the Renaissance. We
Easy
will.
now.
Mark my words, someday we will go back
To the
to
Renaissance.
the Renaissance. It will not be forgotten. It will not.
Yes, don't forget the Renaissance.
So much cool art in the Renaissance.
What else? There was also cool war and machinery.
Well, there's always war, sadly.
This is almost like a watering can. Isn't it? This is a strange,
I mean, it's like
strange shape.
like
It's
a
not-
little Oh no, my
No.
timer was for
Right.
15 minutes.
You have one job.
I know, guys. Okay, the
We should have gotten Vanna White. She would never have
jig is
screwed up
up.
like
The
this.
gig is up.
Your gig is over.
3 minutes. I swear. Jeez. Jeez Louise.
Oh, I already got this.
All right. I mean, can you imagine what
protesting.
an object of this would be worth in this day? I mean, it's so beautiful.
I mean, it's only silver.
I mean, but it's Paul Revere colonial
He is-
teapot.
He is revered.
Man, oh man.
All right, well,
All right. I mean, I didn't time you properly, but your timer is up.
okay. Let's move on. All right, so that's, so this is Paul Revere.
Teapot.
I'm not sure how good a silver teapot would be. I actually have a silver teapot. It was my grandmother, so. All right, so this is a steam engine, which was incredibly revolutionary.
So it is the
thing.
Watt style. Watt.
Well, James Watt.
W-A-T-T.
James Watt invented the steam engine, didn't he?
So are you ready for me to set the timer?
Yeah, do it.
Okay, 3 minutes on the clock. So the addition of a separate condenser made this engine 3 times more fuel efficient than earlier models, allowing it to power mines and factories reliably.
And then he also made the first steam-powered train, didn't he?
James Watt?
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe he just invented the engine.
I mean, the
that's-
steam engine, I think, got applied to the train, maybe. Does
Yeah,
that
but I
seem
wonder
right?
if he was the one who did it.
It's a cool thing to draw.
I remember having a little thing like this, or maybe I just really wanted one when I was a kid.
That doesn't seem like a child's toy.
Yeah, no, it was. It was basically, you would put in a little bit of fuel. I think it was like alcohol that you would put on a little cotton ball, I think. And then
Again, sounds not like a thing for a child.
and then you would take 6 razor blades, break a bottle, find a wild animal, make it bite you, and then
Look
jump
up
off.
and down before you cross the street.
And then jump off the roof of the garage. No, it was, it would turn, it would create steam and it would turn the wheel. I always really wanted one. I don't think I ever did get one though, because I think I would know more about it than I do, besides just like my childhood yen to have one. If anybody ever had one of these, do tell, because it seemed like the most fun toy ever. 17th century gizmo. always loved
So
gizmos.
Patience said, my brother had one that ran on sterno.
There you go, sterno. Okay, it wasn't alcohol.
Yeah.
Although I think sterno might be alcohol related. Anyway.
So Jennifer says, Mamad steam engine. Her brother had one.
Yeah. Mamad.
And Atomic Elf says, I think a Stirling engine? Is that, maybe there's a typo in there, Stirling engine?
Yeah, Sterling doesn't sound right. And that sounds like the Paul Revere thing. We just did that. Oops, I left out the flywheel. Most important part, I think.
I mean, you could draw all the little details in this for a solid hour and not complete it.
I think it's just an aesthetic object too, isn't it?
It's very cool.
I made the flywheel completely wonky, so this would not work. Do not take this as a blueprint for how to make this thing, because I just put this thing in the completely wrong place. But
All right, Kevin says, so inspiring. I would think twice about drawing something like this. See, that's why you got to go deep. You got to go back in time
yeah,
to the Middle Ages and to 1776, and you'll just find these centuries are full of inspo.
all right. So this is a steam engine.
Okay, guys,
Bingo, got it right on time.
set a timer this time. You gotta label it.
Just did.
Oh.
Are you watching your special monitor?
I was doing more than one thing. All right, what's next? What's up?
What's up next is getting rid of this blot of ink here. It's now gone, and we can move on to.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, this is super cool. So I'm just going to jump ahead to the next picture just to show you this. So this is a submarine
Yeah.
from 1776, and you can see this cutaway diagram where the guy sits with his little head sticking out of the thing.
Terrifying!
And then he kind of, I don't know if he pedals or he turns a crank and it moves, but it's like, it's amazing. It has a detachable mine on the back. It's called Bushnell's turtle.
Turtle.
Look at that thing.
Bushnell's turtle.
How insane is that?
All right, you ready for 3 minutes?
Yeah, do it.
On the clock. All right, the turtle's drilling mechanism failed in its mission, partly because the copper hull of the British warship it targeted was too strong to penetrate.
All right, but still, good try. I mean, imagine the bravery of the person who went out on this thing. It's crazy. If you're a long time draw with me person, you know that we end up drawing a lot of submarines for some reason.
Submarines are terrifying, but also cool.
Oops, sorry. Here's, look at the little propellers on the front. How cute are those?
So cute. Again, this is a thing you could spend the entire hour just drawing this, right?
No,
If you wanted it, what?
I couldn't.
Oh, I thought you said no.
I did. I said I couldn't.
Oh.
I would end up racing through it as I am. But look at it's copper. It's just a beautiful object. It must be in a museum somewhere.
So it's called Bushnell's turtle. I'll put it in the chat. Bushnell's.
And look at these things on the top. They look like they're radio towers, antennas, or something like that. Clearly, they're not. They didn't have anything like that in those days.
Was it the periscope?
Maybe. And look at this little backpack with a bomb in it. That's pretty cool. And then this rope. I guess you yank the rope from inside. It releases the mine. It's all it's pretty janky, but.
I mean,
Definitely.
I don't know. When you look at that Ocean's Gate, doesn't seem like they've come a great vast distance,
That's
as they
true.
probably should have.
That's true. Yeah, I shouldn't cast aspersions.
I mean, this thing looks terrifying. I mean, just even the thought.
It also looks kind of like hot air balloon.
Hot air balloon.
Yeah.
Well, the way you're drawing it, especially.
I mean, I guess in the hot air balloon, similar period, I think. The Montgolfier brothers.
Wow, what a fun fact to pull off the top of your head.
You know, top of my head.
Impressive trivia machine.
Well, I think every educated person should be familiar with the history of early aviation. All right, so this is, what's his name?
Bushnell.
Bushnell's turtle.
Bushnell's turtle. Yeah, a couple people have said it's very Doctor Who, yes.
Totally.
Also very steampunk,
Very
yes.
Jules Verne, totally.
Very, yes.
Totally Jules Verne.
Totally.
And Jules Verne kind of era.
And Bushnell is a British guy, right? He was...
I think he was probably American because, right?
Oh, it was. It was targeting a British warship.
Yeah, and unless he was a complete traitor.
Okay.
All right, Bushnell.
Bushnell.
Push off. Here we go. Okay, so. All right, so there.
All right, what's next?
Look at this. Look at that
I
drawing.
mean, cuckoo bananas.
Those are nice drawings, too.
Cuckoo bananas.
All right, so here.
Ah, La France.
One of our favorites. So this is Marie Antoinette.
Okay. You ready for a timer?
Yeah. This is Marie Antoinette when she was still had her head attached to her body.
Okay, so in 1776, Marie Antoinette spent more than 250,000 livres on clothing, an extravagant sum, roughly equivalent to the yearly income of 10 wealthy merchants.
Wow. Well, she looked great. That's the main thing.
I mean,
She was sort of like a Kardashian
she had
of her time.
style. She had style. You know, she had a pug. She was a pug-loving
That's right.
princess.
There's a book
before she
about
became the
that,
queen.
isn't there?
Yeah, I think her pug was called Mops.
Yeah, so of course.
She's going to be hard to draw fast. I kind of feel for you.
Yeah, I've never drawn her before, so that makes it a little harder. She doesn't have a beard. So, yeah, so one of the things that I pointed out yesterday is that you know my predilection for drawing beards, and this 18th century or late 18th century was
not in vogue.
a non-beard time, clean-shaven dudes.
Yeah.
You never see
This
George
is why I
Washington
picked
with a
it.
beard.
This is why I picked it. Let's be honest.
Yeah, so there are back and forth times in terms of facial hair
Yep, it's
in
true.
history.
It's true.
But it was not easy to be clean shaven in the 18th century. There were not disposable razor blades and things like that. So you very easily could have hurt yourself a great deal if you shaved yourself in those days. And of course they didn't know anything about infections. So yeah, she is actually taking longer than I thought she was going to. To get into all this
Frippery.
folderol.
Folderol. Gigaws. We watch a show called The Gilded Age. And one of the characters had a line in the last episode where she said gigaws. And it's just been on my mind ever since. Like, what a fabulous term.
It is a good term. I think this is also an age when people used to dye their hair gray.
I think powder. It was powder.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think so. All right, you're about to run out of time.
Okay. Was she not French?
No, she was
German or Habsburg?
Austria.
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 I guess Germany didn't really. I don't think Germany existed in that time. 18th century. I don't know. German. I don't know. Yeah, there she is, Marie Antoinette. I made her look a little meaner because let them eat bread, right? All right. So this is. JJ?
Oh.
Want to tell us about this?
You didn't. I would have been helpful if you put these in
You were
order.
fully
A
prepared.
kabuki mask. A kabuki mask. Okay, you ready for a timer?
Yeah. And it's from I think it's the No dynasty. No.
So blue in kabuki makeup and masks indicates sadness.
Oh, this is the red.
Ghosts.
This is the red one.
Or supernatural being seeking justice or revenge key themes in traditional Japanese theater.
But this is a red one. I wrote about a red one too, if you look through your notes.
Okay. Okay, red demon. In kabuki, red makeup or masks represent courage, strength, or rage. Characters wearing them often play heroic but volatile roles. I wouldn't say this is red. I would say this is gold and black.
But would you say it was blue either? I don't know. It's kind of confusing. The Japanese can be very enigmatic.
Kabuki.
I mean, this design, when you think of 17th century design, this is not what you think of, right?
No.
I mean, it's so meticulously done too. There's beautiful hard edges, great colors. It's got a lot of personality, a lot of expression. Oops, I left some bits out. Oh well. Is this like the period of Shogun?
I think that was earlier.
I don't know.
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
Someone in the chat will know. When was Shogun era? Yeah, so it was 1568 to 1600.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. I stand corrected. All right, what's our time like?
You've got about 40 seconds.
All right, kabuki it is. Moving on to the Liberty Bell. The Liberty Bell in Philadelphia.
All right, let me get myself organized. All right, timer, ready?
Go.
So the Liberty Bell. The bell likely didn't ring on July 4th, 1776. Public readings of the Declaration happened on July 8th, and its famous crack may have appeared years later.
Oh well, never mind.
But it was still doing stuff in 1776.
Yeah, it was still around. It was uncracked back then. What is the story of the Liberty Bell? I don't even remember what its significance was.
Let me give you a quick Google. Liberty Bell info. Okay. So, this is very complicated. I'm going to go to Wikipedia. The Liberty Bell, previously called the State House Bell or Old State House Bell, is an iconic symbol of American independence located in Philadelphia. Originally placed in the steeple of Pennsylvania State House, now known as Independence Hall, the Liberty Bell today is located across the street from blah, 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 blah. It was commissioned in 1752 by the Pennsylvania Provincial Assembly from the London-based firm Lester and Pack, later renamed the Whitechapel Bell Foundry, and was cast with the lettering "Proclaim Liberty throughout all the land and unto all the inhabitants thereof," a biblical reference from the book of Leviticus. The bell first cracked when rung after its arrival in Philadelphia and was twice recast by local workmen whose surnames appear on the bell. In its early years, the bell was used to summon lawmakers to legislative sessions and to alert citizens to public meetings and proclamations.
So the British made it.
The Americans tried to fix it.
The British made it and they cracked it. And they made it crackable. That was very subversive kind of behavior.
Hence the need to separate entirely, form a new country.
Yeah, the British were like, you know.
So it says the bell did not acquire its distinctive large crack until after almost a century of heavy use, though there's no historical consensus on the exact date it was cracked.
Well, it probably wasn't a day.
The most likely explanation is that a narrow split developed in the early 1840s after nearly 90 years of hard use.
It just doesn't seem that significant. I'm sorry to be that person, but it's a bell and it cracked. It doesn't really seem to have any particular significance other than that, I guess, because it was associated with the original government.
I'm gonna shut you down before you offend somebody. It's like a symbol of
It's a symbol.
Symbol of liberty.
Cracked. All right, let's move on to something that isn't damaged.
What's next?
All right, so this is a treasure chest from a Spanish galleon.
A Spanish galleon. Oof! Don't we all wish that we could encounter?
Dig it up like a day at the beach.
Take that little sub-turtle bell down and find a galleon full of gold.
On your desert island.
Think about that film, The Goonies, a lot. That was fun. All right, timer on.
Check.
All right, Spanish galleon. Spanish galleon treasure chest.
There we go.
Galleon chests were often booby-trapped with false bottoms or secret compartments to hide valuables from pirates or customs inspectors.
Oh, really nice.
Overall, it's a good-looking chest.
Yeah. Do you think it's authentic? I don't know. Feels kind of like you could buy it at Crate and Barrel.
TJ Maxx?
Like that. Yeah. It's like looks a little too good to be true. But maybe it needs to be buried. To get the real patina. Make a treasure map to go with it. I used to love making treasure maps.
Oh, let's do a treasure map on Draw With Me.
That would be cool.
Guys, you heard it here first.
Treasure map. But then we have to bury something. There was an artist. There's actually a couple of artists I can think of who did things where they made an art piece and then they gave out clues and then they buried it somewhere and somebody dug it up and.
I feel like that was there was that magic show in New York that you kind of got that.
Well, yeah.
Clues to find.
No, but this is there was an artist that was really big in the 80s. I can't remember his name though. Was it the Griffin and Sabine guy? Might have been. But there's a guy who does incredible YouTube videos where he makes miniatures. I think his name is Bobby Finger. Hilarious videos that he makes. And he makes these incredibly meticulous miniature sculptures, and then he buries them.
Oh,
and
cool.
And then people make videos about their search for it. All right, how's our timer? Did you set a timer?
Yeah, you still have 35 seconds.
Wow, really booking through this one.
Yeah, Kevin used to make treasure maps and then burn the edges with matches.
Yeah, and soak them in tea.
Oh, the parents would not like that, playing with matches, but maybe we should try to do it next week.
Could do.
Should we
I don't know if
Oh, somebody is issuing a complaint about your box not having perspective. You know,
My box has a little bit it has a different perspective than the photo because I didn't want to show that side, so mine's looking more forward at it than looking at it from the side. But that took me many, many years of expertise to figure out how to do that. So don't complain about my perspective.
but also it's like just to copy a photo is not the most interesting way to make art.
Galleon chest.
Yeah, I'll put Spanish galleon treasure.
All right, let's move on to the next. Here we go.
All right, what's up? What's up?
Okay, so this is Goethe. Do you want to tell us anything about Goethe?
Sure.
Doesn't have a beard, but
No beard, yep.
But we're going to go him anyway.
Should I set a timer?
Sure.
All right. At age 27, Goethe joined the court at Weimar, not just as a writer, but as an administrator overseeing roads, mines, and military affairs.
Really?
What? That's a weird...
Goethe?
I don't know. Is that...
I'm sure that's not somebody... Okay, what else do they say about him?
I don't... That's all that's on here, but I'm gonna...
No, come on. Goethe was a great... Okay, he's a great poet. That's clearly his main thing. Not
He's a German polymath. Who is widely regarded as the most influential writer in the German language. His work has had a wide-ranging influence on literary, political, and philosophical thought in the Western world from the late 18th century to the present.
Not to mention his bridges.
142 volumes comprise the entirety of his literary output, ranging from the poetical to the philosophical, including 50 volumes of correspondence. Yeah, I think...
Sorry, his nose was running. I had to blot it. Well, do you want to recite any Goethe poems?
I was just reading about
German?
Sturm und Drang.
Sturm und Drang.
Was a proto-romantic movement in German literature and music that occurred between the late 1760s and early 1780s. Within the movement, individual subjectivity and, in particular, extremes of emotion were given free expression in reaction to the perceived constraints.
I mean, I've always heard that expression, Sturm und Drang, but I always assumed it meant like...
Of rationalism.
Just like drama and, you know...
The period is named after Friedrich Maximilian Klinger's play of the same name, which was first performed in 1777.
What, Sturm und Drang?
Yeah. Goethe was a notable proponent of the movement early.
Goethe.
All right, well, that's a whole another topic for a different day.
Goethe. How many books did he write?
Sorry, I was busy doing something. So he wrote 142 volumes.
That's a lot. It's more than I've written.
Kevin's asking about your nib and pen.
G-nib, available. All the stuff I use is usually described below in the description, but in this case, it's a G-nib from Zebra, and my pen is a Kohinoor. I'm pretty sure that all that stuff is listed below. But if not, I've made a couple videos about dip pens.
Keep them guessing. Keep them guessing. Coming back for more.
All right.
Maybe we'll tell you about the dip pen next week.
Next week, all right. Kevin. So next we've got... Okay, so this is a snuff box. Let me see if I can get the perspective correct, though. Another box.
I removed that person for other offenses. All right, snuff box. What is the story with the snuff box? And you're on the timer. Snuff box. Does this one have a portrait miniature?
Sure does.
Okay, snuff boxes were
Again,
often...
you can see it right there.
Oh, yeah. Snuff boxes were often used to display discrete allegiances or private relationships. Portraits could depict lovers, political icons, or secret patrons. But what is a snuff box? And for that, we shall go to Google.
I remember using snuff. I think it was when I was in college. We got some snuff. I think my grandfather might have given it to me. It's basically like very finely...
It's a decorative box.
Right, but snuff is a very finely ground tobacco, and you kind of just like snort it.
It's a mixture of grounded tobacco and scented oils.
Right, so it can have...
Popularly used during the 18th century when snuff taking was fashionable.
I mean, now it's like, now that term is used for chewing tobacco.
No.
Yeah, snuff. People refer to chewing tobacco as snuff.
I've never heard that.
Absolutely true. But anyway, but that was, I mean, I don't know if they didn't have cigarettes yet or what the deal was. Like, I guess you didn't create smoke, so, and it was kind of probably smelly. But in those days, nobody cared about smelly. Everything was smelly, right?
So pocket boxes made to hold a small amount of snuff for immediate consumption, a day or two's. Prolonged exposure to air causes snuff to dry out and compromises its quality. Snuff boxes have tightly sealed lids to ensure that air does not penetrate the box, although wholly airtight boxes are a rarity. Table boxes can still be found in the mess of certain old regiments.
I think of them as being like little round things. You know, this feels very boxy. This doesn't seem like it would be fun to put in your pocket. This particular
Well, it could
one.
be one of the table boxes.
Yeah, it could be a table box. But then you wouldn't have your paramour encased in the bottom in the lid, would you?
I guess it depends
where
on
your wife might find it.
Yeah. Popular materials are tortoiseshell, mother of pearl, silver, other exotic materials enriched with enamels or set with diamonds or other precious stones.
Wow, really?
Adorned with a portrait, a classical vignette, a portrait miniature, hard stone inlays, or micro mosaic panel. Wow.
People just didn't know what to spend their money on. Snuff
Snuff.
box. Okay, there we go. Snuff box. Moving on. Let's move on to... Have we skipped anything? No, we did that. Ah, yes, we haven't done this one. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, so this is, for some reason we skipped over this, which is the Resolute.
Resolution.
The Resolution. So,
Do you want me to start a timer?
sure, this is going to be...
So this is the
Interesting
HMS Resolution, which is Captain Cook's ship. Yeah? And it carried experimental tools like marine chronometers, which helped solve the problem of calculating longitude.
So when I was a kid in Australia, there was, it was this, I think the bicentennial of the discovery of Australia by Captain Cook. I think Captain Cook has suffered a similar fate to Christopher Columbus, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he did some problematic things.
I mean, he was killed by natives,
Yeah.
by islanders, indigenous people. He met his fate, so he paid the price for his colonialism, I guess.
So his third Pacific voyage began in 1776. That's hence why it is on the show.
I think Resolution is also the name of lots of other boats, ships. I mean, no, like it's been an ongoing thing. Like I think, through the history of British Navy, it's been like a common name.
Well, it's a good name, right?
Yeah.
Alfonso wants to know how many more. I mean, we only have 10 more minutes, 12 more minutes.
I can stop drawing to look it up, but I'd rather not. I think there's like 2 or 3
So we can
more.
get like 4 max, probably less.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, this could be a thing you could spend the entire hour drawing just this one detailed, intricate ship.
This is an odd angle to be drawing the ship at, too. But interesting challenge. I always admire these naval painters. Because honestly, how would you even paint this? You know, if you didn't have a photograph, you're kind of coming up with this angle and this moment of the water and all that. Not easy. Not easy at all. You know, you could draw the ship at anchor, or you could draw it when it was in port, but you'd have to still come up with this kind of thrilling thing. Turner, I guess, was was a big naval painter. And, you know, I, for a long time, was a naval gazer. But,
Oh, Lord.
another story.
What?
Yeah, so that's the resolution.
Jeez.
HMS?
Yeah. So Jumbo said, I think when one ship is replaced, the new one uses its name.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, you don't have 2 out there because you can't have multiple ships with the same name. That would be very confusing. But, yeah,
cool.
that was nice.
I mean, there are a bunch of things still on the list.
Yeah.
Do you want me to give you your options?
No, I'm going to zip ahead. I think in the interest of speed. So let's do this one, San Miguel.
Okay. No, isn't it San Juan Capistrano?
Yeah, San Juan Capistrano.
Okay, timer. So, Mission San Juan Capistrano, founded in 1776. And this is not a good. I'm gonna have to. Mission San Juan. Okay. So, it's Spanish mission in Orange County, California. Founded November 1, 1776, in colonial Las Californias by
Have you ever been to
Spanish.
this?
Oh, sure. Spanish
beautiful.
Catholic missionaries of the Franciscan order. The Spanish colonial Baroque style church was located in the Alta California province of the Viceroyalty of New Spain.
So this is when the United States were formed, but there was still like other countries had owned bits of America, right, of the continent.
Well, yeah, America was not yet 50 states. That happened gradually over time. Orange County is a beautiful neck of the woods. Our future daughter-in-law's family lives there, and we were lucky enough to visit there for Thanksgiving last year. It was so pretty. Beautiful beaches and wonderful climate.
The OC.
The OC.
San Juan Capistrano.
Yeah. And scene.
You know what I would say? Mission accomplished.
Oh. All right, I think you only have time for one more.
Oh boy.
Choose wisely.
Well, we've got the printing press.
Printing press is pretty major.
We've got what's the Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire guy.
You've got a Hessian soldier.
We've got a Hessian soldier, and yeah, we've got another kabuki. So I would say printing press. Yeah, printing press. So the printing press, this is an 18th century printing press. Obviously,
manual printing press in 1776 produced around 250 impressions per hour, with each sheet inked by hand. An extremely labor-intensive process.
I mean, I've done some hand printing. I've never done it with anything as crude as this, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot harder than posting a blog post. But without it, we would not have the modern world. It's really that simple. This is like one of the most important. I remember seeing this list that these people put together of the most important inventions in human history. This was not number one, though. You know what number one was? Fire.
Did we get to say we invented that?
Or discovered it.
Yeah, I wouldn't call fire an invention.
Well, it was a discovery then.
Okay, fair enough.
But anyway, this is like top 10. Right after the iPhone. Thank God Steve Jobs discovered the iPhone. Right, I'm kind of screwing up the bottom of it a bit because I ran out of space, but
I mean, of course, there are older known printing presses, so I'm just trying to figure out why it's featured in 1776.
because it was.
I guess it printed the Declaration of Independence.
No, I mean
Maybe it's the John Dunlap.
I don't think it was that. It's not that. It's really more that it was important to political changes in the world.
Maybe.
You know, the 18th century is, of course, is that the Age of Enlightenment? But whatever it is, it's the time when there was huge amounts of political change, and a lot of it was caused by.
Yeah, Marie
printed
might have
documents.
kept her head if not for the printing press.
Right. Did you set a timer?
Oh.
I knew you didn't. All right.
Woof.
All right, so we did 3, 7, 10, 12 things representing 17. I misspelled 17.
One become a 7?
Yeah.
Or your 7 become a 1?
I screwed it up already.
You
I'm
could
gonna
give it
say-
a little
wait,
crossbar.
3, 7, 9, 11, 12. I couldn't even like make it up and say it was 11 things from 1776. I'm going to say 11 plus 1 things. From...
Oh my gosh.
I know. I didn't even know why I wrote that.
Well, you know, these things sometimes happen.
Brain fart.
You might be exhausted. That's a lot of work you just... I mean, look at that page. There are like multiple complex things.
Well, I hope you all didn't suffer too much. It was ambitious. You're doing it with a dip pen, but... Okay.
Arlene finished her sketchbook with this.
That's a great way to...
Yeah.
Did you start it in 1776?
No, she started in the Middle Ages.
Oh, that's good. The invention of the sketchbook. Woo! All right.
What's next?
What is next?
Are we taking the day off tomorrow?
We're going to go and have some oysters this afternoon.
Oh, are we ever?
And tomorrow, 4th of July, we're going to spend the day making sure our dogs don't explode.
Oh, don't even joke about that.
One of our dogs has never...
Fireworks and dogs are...
One of our dogs has never lived through the 4th of July before. Has she? No, she has.
She has, but not with us.
Not with us. So
We rescued her.
So we're curious to see what's going to happen there, but Twiglet doesn't seem to mind them.
Twiglet doesn't care.
And we've had them
chill.
before.
Speaking of Twiglet, may I remind you that Twiglet can come and live in your home too.
Yes.
Don't you feel like you should show the model?
All right. Yeah. Cats hating them too.
Oh, poor pets. Okay, just look.
All right.
Just look. I mean, it's crazy good.
Power of watercolor.
Oh, baby.
All right, guys. We're done. I'd like to remind you to become a member if you haven't. We've had one person sign up to become a member today, but if you'd like to become one, you can join us on Wednesdays when we do Draw With Me again. Yesterday we drew...
Squids.
Squids. Where's my squid?
It's in your yellow book.
This is what I drew yesterday. Squid. So, if you remember, you could have been drawing squids right now. Eating oysters, drawing squids. The ocean is your ocean.
You know, Cindy came to the squid session yesterday.
Yeah.
We talked about a book that we love, and she said she ordered it, and it's already arrived. It could have been you guys. It could have been all of you.
You're going to have a great weekend.
Yeah, you are, Cindy. You are in for a treat.
By the way, I forgot to mention, somebody, I don't know if you noticed it at the beginning, but somebody did the medieval Middle Ages prompts in Lego. Did you notice that? Go back and look at
cool.
it. In Lego. Genius. I don't know who that was, but hats off. All right. So join, become a member, share your 1776 drawings on Facebook or on Instagram or in the schoolyard and tag them. Hashtag SBS, that's Sketchbook School, SBS Draw With Me. And then we'll share them as part of next week's Hoot Nanny. What else? I would say Danny'sEssays.com. I write an essay every Friday. I think I've been writing some good ones lately. So if you've been disappointed by them in the past, come back because I'm writing better.
That's not true.
I don't know. Anyway, and Start Your Sketchbook Journal is a perfect way to kick off your summer or the middle of your summer by learning how to keep a sketchbook journal, and you can sign up for that course at our website.
There's a little treat if you sign up in July and do a little challenge, which was in our newsletter, and if you didn't get it and you want to know about it,
Yeah.
sign up for the course and email me and I'll tell you.
And make sure you sign up for our newsletter. All right, that's enough.
right,
I've
that's
told you enough things to do. Just go and have a nice weekend, have some oysters, and if you're in the United States, set up some fireworks.
No, don't.
Just take it easy.
Fireworks. Should
Read a
just-
good book.
Read a good book. But yeah,
And
take
if
the day
you're
off.
and if you're
Take the
in
day
the,
off
if
if
you're in
you
the
can.
southern hemisphere, bundle up and stay warm. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Or are we going? We're going.